The Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the Nigerian Police, otherwise known as EndSARS, is hereby dissolved across all formations, the 36 state police commands, and the Federal Capital Territory, where they currently exist.
It seems Nigerians are not swayed by the pronouncement of the Inspector General of Police appearing to yield to their demands by scrapping the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. That's because a day after that pronouncement, they're back on major streets across the country, continuing days of protests. According to them, the IGP's previous promises to reining the SARS operatives have had no effect. In Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, protesters blocked the Lekki tollgate end of the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway, forcing commuters and motorists on their way to work to a standstill.
We're not asking for audio disbandment. They've done it before. We're asking them that the president does it by himself on national TV.
The presidential order brought SARS to war. If he wants to remove them, he has to put his signature to it.
We're not safe in our own houses. I cannot come out of my house and be afraid if I'm going to come back or not.
The other SARS have been disbanded. As I'm talking to you right now, they are disarming them in police command headquarters. And they have been sent to different other formations. As I'm talking to you, they are collecting the arms and weapons that SARS are using.
They insist that the president himself should make the pronouncement disbanding SARS by way of an executive order.
I think we want to just let our voice. There's a couple of things. We're not just asking for ending SARS. That's one of the problems, right? We're talking about prosecution of those who have killed innocent people. So if we end it and nobody's going to jail, we're not solving the problem.
Not even pleas from the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, could stop the protesters.
He had mentioned that they are all going to be prosecuted. He had said that all of them will be prosecuted and brought to justice. Okay, we will. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
There were similar protests in other parts of Lagos, including Surulere, where protesters alleged they were shot at by police.
I've been shot at Surulere area, see front of that OPR office. They shot my leg, so I'm heading to Randu now.
Protests were also held at Maryland, at Djibouti, and the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. And in the South-South region, the protesters were also visible in Calabar, the Cross River State capital, Benin City in Edo State, and in the southeast from Onitsha in Anambra State. Youths in Jos, the Plateau State capital, also hit the streets, displaying placards with different inscriptions as they seek the release of all arrested protesters, as well as demanding justice for all deceased victims of police brutality and appropriate compensation for their families.
EndSARS now! EndSARS now! EndSARS now!
Well, welcome back to Sunrise Daily. That is what we will be discussing at this point. It's been days and days of protests. Thousands of youths across Nigeria have come out to voice their opinions, in fact, disappointment as to ways the police, especially a section of the police, SARS, has treated them in recent times. And they're saying enough is enough. Well, the IGP has announced that the SARS unit of the police has been disbanded and the men will be redeployed. The president also said, well, this is the first step to a wider reform of the Nigeria police force. But it appears as though the protesters are not satisfied. So this morning, we'll get an update with, well, one of the protesters to understand what is the thinking behind this new wave of protests, even though the president, the IGP, in fact, the National Assembly, the Speaker, governors have spoken about this. And we have joining us on the phone this morning, Bolatito Odwala, who is one of the EndSARS protesters. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on Sunrise Daily. Well, for those who are thinking, well, the IGP has spoken, the president has spoken, but it appears as though you are not satisfied. So the question for them is, what more do you want?
Okay, good morning. I don't think the question should be what more do they want. I think the question should be, do the people still believe in the words of the government? Because this same SARS has been claimed to be disbanded over 4 times in the last 5 years. We have an announcement in 2018. We have another announcement in 2019 that this same SARS has been disbanded now. Again, in 2020, they are telling us that they've disbanded the force. The people have lost faith in the government, and that is what you're seeing. And that is why the protests are still ongoing, because nobody believes the government saying, how are we sure that in the next 2 to 3 months, these authorized criminals in uniform will not come back and start attacking the youth again? So I think that's the question.